He has lived a charmed life. This is a Kiwi who's made it a long way from home. Mark Williams, a former caddy for New Zealand golfer turned commentator Frank Nobilo, is now a PGA Tour media official. Week in, week out, he rubs shoulders with the best players in the world. He explains how his association with the game began.
Probably when I played golf as a kid and I ended up getting a greenkeeping job at Lockhill Golf Club in Hamilton. That's kind of where it started, and just ventured into different things as time progressed. I went from greenkeeping to caddying and back to greenkeeping in Perth, and I continued to caddy for a while on the Australasian Tour, and I ended up turning pro and doing apprenticeship at Hastings Golf Club. And after that, through my connections with caddying, I got offered a job on the Australasian Tour as a rules official. And I was kind of considering going to play and decided that doing the rules official thing would be pretty good. Gave me a little experience, and I ended up staying there for 10 years.
In his time as a rules official, Williams learned a great deal and had a couple of interesting confrontations with some high-profile players.
There were a lot of good guys to deal with, but occasionally you'd have some players come from overseas that had different perception of the rules that we had at that time. I think one of the memorable ones was with John Daly and a couple of line-of-sight rulings that he didn't agree with some of the decisions that we gave him. But interesting now, I'm back in a position working with him here.
Williams remains very involved in the game, and he doesn't escape it at home, as his wife is a former LPGA Tour star, Nancy Scranton.
Absolutely. She just retired last year after 25 years on tour, and we got a couple little kids, 4.5-year-old twins, and she decided that it was time for me to get a job and hang up the clubs. Although she still does a few senior events, that's 45 and over for the women, but she does a few corporate outings, etc., and keeps herself busy, and I travel a little bit with the job and still get home and spend time with the family.
It all adds up to an interesting life, and his role now is the culmination of all the skills he's acquired from over the years.
Current job is a media official on the PGA Tour in the United States. It means I travel probably to 22 odd events a year. There's a group of 4 or 5 of us that coordinate and work a schedule, and we work together and coordinating interviews with players, and we're kind of like a liaison between the press and the players. Write a lot of notes, pre-tournament stuff. It's pretty interesting. They know it's an obligation, and they're starting to realise that it's something that's beneficial to them. A lot of them are just focused on playing golf, and that's what they do, but there's a lot of other aspects to go with it, and media is one of them. Most of them are pretty good, and I think it's just about building a relationship with each of those players so that you can ask them to do things for you and explain that they're going to benefit from it, and it seems to work pretty well. Most of the guys are pretty good.
In many ways, Williams is living the dream.
Everybody tells me it is. I enjoy it. It's good. I get to do a little bit of everything. It's there's always activity. It keeps the brain operating. I don't get to play golf much anymore, but I enjoy being around it and the people involved.